Can Mono Green Storm actually win? Hi, I'm Supreme Verdicts, a practicing attorney by day and a magic strategist by night. After a long day working on the rule of law, I come home to master the laws of magics. In this video, I'm going to be looking at Nylea Keen-Eyed and using her cost reduction ability in Mono Green in order to storm off for the win. This is a deck brought to you by a good friend of mine, Sal, hence the name, Sal's Zombie Storm, in which I use Nylea Keen-Eyed, an indestructible god, 5/6, who has devotion and has an ability that lets you look at the top card and pick creatures. That comes up occasionally. But most importantly, creature spells you cast cost 1 generic less to cast. This means as long as you are chock full of various 1-mana creatures, Nylea says you can play them for free. When you couple this with early green ramp spells, as well as general card advantage machines such as Wickerwing Effigy, the alchemy version that lets you play creatures off the top, Augur of Autumn, Vizier of the Menagerie, or classic just actual draw card effects such as Beast Whisperer, Toski, and the Great Henge, you can draw through your whole library, casting your spells for free until you get to a payoff, the classic Craterhoof, and of course a more stormy payoff such as Eve, Progenitor Ooze, and Aetherflux Reservoir. While this deck doesn't necessarily have other storm payoffs such as Weather the Storm or the one that makes squirrel tokens, I found that in such a tight package, it is really important to not only have as many of these zero-cost creatures as possible, but otherwise to prioritize your ramp spells and then have only card draw and the most powerful of effects going forward. Nylea Keen-Eyed often draws through at least half of her deck when she's actually storming off, and I'm very excited for you all to see exactly how powerful Mono Green Storm can be. Storm off in the comments if you actually think I'm going to manage to pull this off before our opponent kills us. With such a tight package of cards, it can be difficult to sometimes get all the way there before our opponent's able to get their game plan online. After all, we can't really run a lot of interaction in this. Soul of the Harvest is great, especially with some ramp. I'd love a cheaper card draw effect, but with mono blue, this might just be the best thing we can hope for, and hope that they're focused on counter spells. Yeah, let's see. Wow, play nothing. Who saw that coming? Okay, no cantrip. That's impressive. Eluge, for those of you who don't know, puts flood counters onto various islands. What this does is it makes it so that instants and sorceries cost less for the opponent on their turn. Now, Delight Halfling is a fantastic draw here. After all, it's going to let us, cast Nylea without it being countered. However, we're going to try to draw this out with a Llanowar Loam Speaker. Let's see if we can draw out a counter spell. And if not, we can then play the Halfling as a follow-up because Ceruli Caretaker will all of a sudden be online. Great. Alright, opponent. This, they might want to counter. There it is. As to be expected. And that's no problem. We don't need Nylea yet. Soul of the Harvest is actually the most important card in our deck because we can always recast Nylea. That being said, opponent has indeed tapped out. So I think we're going to take this opportunity to get out Nylea in order to make our future ramp spells cost a little bit less. It's terrible, I know. Nylea has a big bow in the sky, and yet she does not have reach. So this Haughty Djinn could become problematic, but for now it looks as if our opponent is focusing on just ramping and getting their threats out. This is still a 1/4 though. I'm not entirely sure what they plan to do. Can we? We can. Soul of the Harvest, but it's not going to do too much yet. However, it will draw us a card. Let's tap down our 6/6. I know. I like the 6/6 more than the 5/6, but this is indestructible. Oh, unfortunate. We do not have anything else. Eluge will become a 5/5 next turn. So let's keep up Nylea, stop them from being able to attack without using some kind of interaction here. Cryptic Caves being just another form of card draw. It's so important to keep going. Disgusting. To keep going in this deck, after all, we are focused on being able to draw our whole deck as much as possible. Yeah, not great, but not the worst. This is not good. We do need to ramp more. I think we do Priest. Oh, does opponent have something? For 1 mana, they have a cantrip, presumably. We'll do Ceruli. We'll do Jaspera. Let's get our ramp back online. Card draw is important, but it's more important being able to cast those cards afterwards. That's one of the worst things we can see. A River's Rebuke does set us back an entire turn, and it's hard to play against. But opponent's giving us a lot of time here with our life total. They're not pressuring us or getting us into a lock kind of position. Then again, 3 mana free spell is it's hard to argue against that. It's certainly hard to come back from it. We're not in a great position. Wow. Flow of Knowledge for 1 mana. 2 mana? 2 mana. It's disgusting. Full reload over here so they can then start casting stuff on our turn as well. What'd they drop? Portent of Calamity. Another card draw fact. That makes sense. They're digging desperately for their Cyclonic Rift, I'm sure. Or some other way to close out this game a little bit faster. Now, I want to play an Nylea here. I also want to get down the Augur. I think it's most important to try to get this down. Let's see if they have the negate for it. Or not negate, just general counterspell. Okay. Yes, we'll move it back to the command zone. Let's generate a green mana. Fortunately, we don't have the 2 necessary in order to get the Loam Speaker online without then being able to also use it for Priest, but here we can generate a mana. Get a little bit ahead. Or a little bit caught up. Yep. Opponent's doing the mono blue thing. But that's okay. We're not completely out of this. The Haughty Djinn is dangerous. Absolutely. It is going to kill us. We have maybe a turn to figure it out. But let's see if we can get opponent to fully tap out. There's no way, but we'll try. Always a fighting chance. Fortunately, the opponent's still at 25, so they're not feeling particular pressure. Now, the Narset's powerful, especially against our general game plan, but here they're quote-unquote tapped out with their 4 flood counter, free spell, etc. Is there anything we could get here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think so. It would be more important to get something with reach in order to continue to fend off our opponents here. Which makes me think that a sneaky win might be the way to go with the Finale of Devastation. In which case, here, we're going to get out... Oh, yeah, see, opponent still has interaction of some kind. Let's see if they're going to play it or not. Listen Carry at it, it doesn't matter as much as Leafkin Druid. We are going to be trading off a couple of our creatures here, but we don't mind losing the Ceruli Caretaker. And the Jaspera Sentinel is unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, counter. That's fine. Don't think opponent realizes what we're going for here. Oh, actually, undo. Because we need to keep up the Ceruli Caretaker. So I think here we're going to tap the Priest of Titania. We'll get down an Elysian Caryatid. We'll get down an Armored Scrapforger. If they have any amount of interaction, we are going to lose, but that's okay. We've fought admirably. Here our plans are to chump and chump with our reach creature and our defender, and then we'll Crater Hoof and hope that it's enough. Maybe? And they have the win. Opponent's going to be able to tap down our reach blocker, which is the most important thing. And that'll stop us from being able to actually do anything. Good game, opponent. Alright, River's Rebuke set us back a lot. That was an unfortunate match. Opponent needed it on turn 6, and they had it on turn 6. But you can see how the engine starts to go. Oh good, another control deck. Niv Mizzet Perun is an interesting one. This one, I believe, pings you. Yeah, deals damage, draw card, repeat. We do not have a card draw effect here, so we are going to mulligan this away. Oh, and again, without card draw, and with a worse ramp spell. One more try. Hey, card draw, ramp. Now, Aetherflux Reservoir is an interesting one. It can be really good, but it's not fantastic. And Crashing Drawbridge is powerful too. We have a lot of these 1-mana creatures. I'm going to put that away in the hopes that we're able to top deck a few more eggs to cast with Nylea. The idea being that Crashing Drawbridge lets us win the same turn that we're popping off. Alright, opponent has Lightning Bolt, shoot down my Llanowar Loam Speaker. Presumably. No, okay. They're deciding to hold that mana. I'm not sure what they might have here though. It could be a free spell as well. We play into that just because we have so many ramp creatures in this deck, it doesn't matter. We'd rather get all of the energy out because it's more important to protect some of our card draw creatures. Alright, 4 mana. They have 1 red up. I think we're going to go for Nylea here in order to then cast Oracle next turn to make sure we can start getting some land drops out. No response from opponent, and we have a turn 2 Nylea. Turn 3, I suppose. Okay, Power 9 is in their deck. We're going to play Oracle of Nylea to try to hit our land drop, because we wouldn't be able to hit cast Soul of the Harvest yet anyway. That's an unfortunate one. I think... Do we want to hold Crashing Drawbridge? We might, in order to get a payoff from Soul of the Harvest, if we can get our land next turn. Although this will make it so that we can then use the mana from Llanowar Visionary right afterwards. It's generally going to be better to hold here. Now opponent's wondering what we might have in our hand for 1 green mana. But also this does show itself as an extra card if we cast it after the Soul of the Harvest. Opponent's setting up for something. Of course, they can combo off with their commander in a lot of ways. Nice, we have 2 land drops. Let's draw out a counterspell here, because again, Soul of the Harvest is the most important card in our deck. Nice. Or at least the card draw often is. So in this case, let's pop off a little bit. We'll gain some life. Scare the opponent. Draw a card. Oh my god, another 1-drop creature. I think here it's better to do Crashing Drawbridge. This will give us hasty creatures in the future for when we want our mana dorks to actually tap in the same turn. Do they have anything with flash? You know what? Let's hold back. We're gaining life, and we're going to be able to shoot them if we manage to storm off accordingly. Opponent? Is this a removal spell? Bounce spell? Commit. Let's put it back in the library. Sure. Second, they'll have only 2 mana, which won't be enough in order to make us shuffle it away. We'll be drawing Castle Garenbrig for turn, and then Nylea will be there. We can play Soul of the Harvest for 5, and I believe still follow it up with a Sentinel Stalwart. Alright, into the library it goes. Sets us back a turn, but that's alright. Opponent's probably going to counter Nylea back on the way down, but we don't really mind that as much. We'd rather them, I guess, worry about the counterspell for Soul of the Harvest. Oh, they're going to get to shuffle her away. That's unfortunate. But they spend their whole turn doing this. And with Soul of the Harvest, we can still generate a mana advantage and a card advantage. After all, it's the nature of our deck. Opponent's scrying. Which is interesting if they're going to try to cast Memory here. They could also go for... No, yeah. Niv miss it, but they decide not to. Give us a fresh hand. Alright, we are going to cast... That's right, we no longer have our card draw. That is unfortunate. Now we do have Toski over there as card draw coming up, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. I think here, let's get some threats down. I'm trying to decide, do we want to just go in and attack the opponent with everything we have? That is certainly an option in order to start pressuring their life total. We can also just put this down as a 3/3. Opponent all of a sudden can no longer keep attacking us, which is fun. We'll go for an Ominous Traveler. This one is going to generate us another card, which is fantastic. That's not bad. Draw 2. Enchantment you control enters, can attack. Let's go for the Pit Fighter. And get a little bit more mana on board. We're going to go ahead and activate this. Sacrifice a vampire, draw 2. We don't have the mana. Do we have the mana for it? No, we don't have the mana for it. Because it's going to cost a red mana specifically. With Jaspira. Actually, we absolutely could. We'll discard a card and be able to get Toski. It's only if the opponent lost life this turn, so we can hold on to it, I suppose, for next turn. In which case, let's play it just in order to get out some more creatures. I suppose that was also a consideration. But let's go ahead and attack. We do want to be pressuring the opponent. At least a little bit. Especially because Niv Mizzet's going to be able to pick off some of our smaller creatures. Stonecoil Serpent here is going to stop their Oracle from being able to just get in chip damage and get their free scries. But they're at a lot of mana and they have a lot of cards. This could be a pop-off turn. Hopefully opponent doesn't read Toski too closely, realize that it can't be countered. And they're starting to get worried about Aetherflux Reservoir. Perfect. Yes, be scared. Be very scared. We don't mind that. That is not the game plan here. Aetherflux is a nice way to win, but it is not necessary to win. Can't be countered. Did you read the card? Try to counter it anyway. What, no subtlety, opponent? That is unfortunate. Now, they do still have Oracle of the Alpha up, so we will not be able to attack past it particularly well. I think here it is worth it, though. With 3 mana remaining, let's go ahead and give Toski Flash. Or Haste, excuse me. Must attack, must attack. Two cards, that's not bad. Let's start off here. We could always go for en masse in order to draw a bunch of cards, but we're not sure what the opponent has with their mana up, so we'll play a little bit more conservatively here. Excuse me. And if we ever don't want to attack with Toski, we can tap it with one of our tapping creatures. That is fine. We'll go ahead and tap the Visionary, and tap this for a color. Oh, excuse me. I forgot this has to happen only after they've taken damage. That's no problem. We don't mind losing our 2/1 Pit Fighter. Drawing 2 cards. Come on, something good. They still have something at instant speed. That's alright. We're going to go ahead, play our Ominous Traveler. Oh my goodness, a counter spell. That's okay. And I think with that we're going to end the turn. Again, it's going to be best if we can rush the opponent all at once. We're really looking for a card draw spell here. It might have even been better to just attack fully, having anticipated the opponent might have had a counter spell. Okay, opponent, touching all the cards. A Braid? Oh no! Do we ramp? Kind of want to ramp, but I'm sure they'll have something better. That seems like a little bit of a waste to kill our tap-down creature. I guess they wanted to use the mana, which makes me feel like they might cast Niv this turn. Yep, there he is. Perune. Whenever it deals, draw a card, deal 1 damage. Whenever we cast an instant or sorcery, they draw a card. Or whenever they cast an instant or sorcery too. 2 mana. Great. Opponent's scries to the bottom. Nice. No blocks. My turn. Oh, baby. Do they have the counterspell? I mean, I'm not going to play scared. Of course they have the counterspell. And what are they going to ping? Tap it for mana. fine. Unfortunate, but it's to be expected. Instead, we will draw cards and lose some creatures, and that's okay. Not many other options here. Death by 1,000 cuts, this and that. We're still at 37. Go for it. Attack, my minions, attack! They no longer have counterspell. Wowee. Some good stuff, some good stuff. Let's go ahead and... Next turn we're gonna have a lot of mana still. So we could just play this for 4. Untap next turn. No, next turn we can make that a lot bigger. With Castle Garenbrig. So let's go ahead with the Prosperous Innkeeper. Unless they board wipe us, you know, we'll be okay. In which case, perhaps... we'll go ahead and play the Bulwark. And the Puppet Master. We can scry that down. We don't need that. We'll hold this up. Hopefully, they will start pinging our stuff. Yeah? Oh no! We're just giving them more targets. Opponent pops off a little bit. If they were smart, they would probably try to just destroy the Crashing Drawbridge, although at this point I think that because we have such few cards in hand, they're unaware. Now they're realizing they are going to try to beat us down in the air, but we're at 40. I would love to see what their plan is. They've got 5 cards in hand, but they're also at 10 life. I would love nothing more than for them to swing out at us. We can play this for 10, 12 mana with Castle Garenbrig. Rhystic Study, that's completely useless at this point of the game. There's so much mana on the battlefield. Mox Ruby, great. Time Walk, now that's a card. None of these things are worth destroying. Okay, deal 1 more damage. Come on, opponent. Don't just waste my time. Actually do something, huh? Yeah, attack. That's fine. Bottom. So at least we know they're not drawing particularly well next turn. They will get to kill another one of our creatures. Looks like they'll get to kill another one now. Again, still not going after the drawbridge. Discarding a Spell Pierce. Alright. Yep. Ouch, ouch. I regret playing stuff up as much. That's okay. Let's go ahead and put these counters onto... Toski, why not? If I targeted the drawbridge, they might think about it. I considered it, but... damn. Maybe it was worth it? 5 cards in hand, opponent. Ah, there it is. That's unfortunate. Oh my goodness. This is just gonna be punishing. This might just be punishing. Are you having fun? I'm having fun. It's miserable. Yep, shuffle my commander away. Yep, cast. Extra turn spells all game long. Yeah, we can't even see the other one they cast. Wow. But maybe we'll top deck something good. Draw 3 cards. Deal 4 more damage. Good job, opponent. I've always enjoyed the Gods commanders. They're always fun. They're hard to remove, indestructible, and this and that. Sure, there's Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares, but your opponent always still thinks twice before they do anything like that. We get to go first with a little bit of ramp and card draw spells. Alright, we'll try it out. Notably, don't play the 1-drop. That's going to be a 1 mana, draw a card next turn. Or not next turn, but in a couple of turns. And that's how we like to play it. For this deck as well, there's so many 2-mana mana dorks out there from limited sets. Pick your favorites. You don't have to go with the ones I chose. I personally threw a Nightshade Dryad because I think it's useful to have a Death Toucher every now and then. I do think it comes up. And in that sense, I wanted to make sure I had an option like that. Some of the other ones I picked are either just the more powerful ones or ones that come with some kind of effect. Oh, crap. Oh, that is just a game-winning card, isn't it? If they can give it Trample, it's going to be brutal. Does this have Trample, the Ox? No, it doesn't, just Reach. Oh, they gave it Trample. Audacity. Okay, cool. That's so sad. Alright, well, let's draw a ton of cards. Maybe that'll make up for it. God. Land, land, land. Are we gonna brick again? Okay. Stonecoil Serpent. It's an X, so you can pay it for 1, because it comes in free. Draw a card. And that stops the storm. Alright, alright. Not a bad turn. You know, 5 spells for 5 total mana. But this is a problem. Bristly Bill, for those of you who may not play against this very often. 2 mana, put a 1/1 counter, and then the 5 mana double the 1/1 counters on each creature you control is punishing. Now, thankfully, they're just making it big right now. But look at how hard that hits right now. 7/5. Playing extra lands. Ugh. Do I just kill this? I think I have to. I think it's worth it. Normally, I wouldn't. Like I said, this is the most important card in our deck, to a degree. But we have a Vizier. And this is going to help us cast creature spells, at least, off the top, which is great. Oh, Namesake! Oh, we can't cast it! Alright, Seek, though, shouldn't shuffle our deck. Which is pretty nice. Look, an elf! That's a shame. We got far, but that's okay. I could make this a 3/3, but I think it's better to just punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana next turn. Opponent's probably just going to cast their commander. So let's just go ahead and attack for a lot. Next turn, we'll have Eve, but hopefully we'll be able to get to a couple other spells so that we can indeed combo off with her and Storm. I keep promising that for this deck. We'll see if we'll be able to do it. Wow, Lotus Cobra? Oh, they might still be able to cast it. Okay. This Spectrum Sentinel, putting in the work. One of my favorite just cards in this deck. It's protection from multicolored. When it enters, gain a life. I think it's a lot of fun. Oh, they ramped us. That's great. It's just not good enough to fit in any actual Brawl or Commander deck. But I think it puts in a lot of work here. Wow. And look at this. They really look at that. We're going to start drawing. Now we need 5 mana to cast Eve. We have exactly 5 right now. I think we have to wait one more turn for her. We're going to draw some cards. Shh. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay. This is okay. It is sad, but we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Let's attack with everything. What are they going to do? Block? This is a secondary win con for Storm. You have a bunch of little tiny things, and you can just start hitting. Now, the reason why they block the Spectrum Sentinel, other than the fact that it's the best card in the deck, obviously, protection from multicolored, here we go, means it can block Bonnie Paul all day. Now, they do have Garruk's Uprising, so that wouldn't help. She would trample over, but I understand the mentality here. Notably, though, because they chump blocked, they can't attack now. She says whenever you attack, draw a card and put a land down, but by getting rid of her opponent's Lotus Cobra, she's not able to attack us. Kami, okay, more lands. Great, 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 great. Ugh, that hurts. Are we gonna actually have to cast Eve for 0 just to draw a card? Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. Oh my god, I'm devastated. And another land. Tell me this isn't the most disappointing Storm deck without telling me this isn't the most disappointing Storm deck. Do we at least have like lethal or anything? Let's see. Opponent blocks. I can pump this if I need to. I can pump that too. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 attackers. An opponent can block this, and can block this, and can block this, and so that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage going through. I don't think that's quite worth it. But they will cast a bunch more next turn and gain a lot more life. But we hold. I can't believe we cast Eve. Maybe it would have been better just to hold it, but as you see, we were just going to draw another land anyway. Wouldn't have helped much. We've hit a flood.
Kraken,
which is unfortunate.
leviathans, octopuses, serpents. Oh, I love them all.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Kenra's transformation, cast a bunch of stuff. Yeah, draw a bunch of cards. We did the thing, you know? So, that was cool. We cast our Storm card for 0 Storm. Yeah, kill it. Okay, that's great. We have no more forms of card draw. Great. This is what I wanted. This is the Magic Brawl experience that I was looking for. This is what I come to do. This is how I relax. Yeah, I choose this. I choose to just sit here and get pub stomped by ridiculous commanders while I try to play my fun little cards. My fun little old cards that I think, oh, what a creative idea. Oh, look at this. Let me just trash you into oblivion. Good game, opponent. Did I have fun? Do I look like I had fun? Do I look like I had fun? I'm gonna win with Storm if it's the last thing I do. Everyone's so scared of the new Storm Wind's Fury, the Marvel card that just came out. Oh, it gives your spell Storm, that's so busted. Storm doesn't seem that good to me. I don't know. I think it's okay. I don't know if it's good. Alright, Season of Growth gives us some good scries. Oracle of Nylea clears off some lands. There's not ramp, but it's a keepable hand. We need to hit our 3rd land drop. Let's try it. Let's try it. We do not play Gingerbrute. That will hopefully be either a scry or a card draw later. Opponent. Oh, we don't have the Kami in here, you may have noticed. Or the Arboreal Grazer. It's because this deck runs a fairly low land count. Because it needs to fill itself with so many Storm cards. Obviously, the deck's perfect. It's not the deck, it's my opponent's. That's all. We'll win eventually. I'm not too worried. Alright, Justin. This Justin. Opponent. God. Ah! Alright. Land drop. Yes, scry first. Land. Wow! Pass. Next turn, at the very least, we can Llanowar Visionary off curve. Hopefully we'll be able to Oracle of Nylea or just Nylea. Or Oracle actually could hit us a couple land drops, which would be pretty cool. Opponent has their engine online. Nice. I guess we Oracle so that we can try to hit one more land drop. Great, keep that on top. Play it. Shh, crap. I think we keep that though. Next turn we can Nylea and start, well, not drawing cards, but scrying to something good. There's no reason to play this in order to just get past the land. Oh, my kit, excuse me. Alright, land enters, draw a card, lose a life. Are they gonna... Okay, thank God. If I get Rivers Rebuked, I'm conceding. It's one card. They have Rivers Rebuke, Cyclonic Rift in their deck. And certainly a Time Warp or two, but Time Warp doesn't win them the game. All we need... I guess we just need 2 turns and a Beast Whisper, and we can win this. The, what's it called? The Itlamok, that 3-mana enchantment that flips to equal, tap for mana equal to whatever you have. They're gonna draw so many cards. But maybe. Oh, look at that! Growing Rights of Itlamok. Alright, luck's starting to turn around a little bit. A little bit, if anything. Do we have a way to draw a card? We do. It's the Llanowar Visionary, isn't it? Alright. We play Nylea. Play this. Llanowar Visionary. Draw a card. Itlamok. I do want that card. It's really good. It's not good if we can't cast it this turn, but, you know, we do what we can. Alright. At this point, we're just going to go for a little bit of land. Or a way to keep things going a bit. Now we don't need land. Ugh, this is brutal. Haywire Might's up, but there's nothing really we want to kill at the moment. I'm not going to attack with my Oracle of Moldiah. Unfortunately, we don't have the mana this turn. But let's see. We have 6, 7, 8. So we can grab a 6-drop. We could just get a Beast Whisper. We can also see just how far we can go with Stone Coil Serpent. Let's see what opponent does on this turn, and we'll try to decide if we have 1 turn or none. This costs 4 mana to sacrifice. Hopefully they leave that up, and they have so many treasures. Well, at the very least, you've gotten to see some of opponents' decks just pop off today. We're doing a service. If anything, this is giving the opponent a chance to express themselves in Brawl, get their win rate up, and have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Yeah, okay. Make 15 treasures, draw 15 cards. Sorry, 10, excuse me. Opponent's just going to start making food at a certain point because they don't care. Yeah, excuse me, it was 5 of each. Oh, an Arboreal Grazer. What a good card. Yeah. Put a land down, make a treasure, draw a card. Okay. You can do anything now? Can you win? At least my deck does like just one thing, and it takes a turn that takes like a few minutes, but at least it wins at the end of it. You know, when I cast Craterhoof, that's it. Opponent doesn't have to sit there. This is ridiculous. Yep. Okay. Made a big forest. Hope you're happy. 7 mana. What are you gonna do? Well, I made a promise to you all. I did. I absolutely made a promise. I'm so demoralized. If you've made it to this far into the video, good for you. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope at the very least you enjoy my frustration and you understand that it's not just the RNG for you. It affects all of us sometimes. Sal, screw you. I hate your deck. Might take it apart after this. This is miserable. Wow. Okay, Faramir's a cool card. beginning of your end step, if it didn't attack you, you draw a card. Otherwise, you make 3 1/1s. Meh. Let's see how they build it. It's probably all counter spells, something, something. Guardian Project. Amazing. 4 mana. Draw a card. Harder to remove than Beast Whisperer. Let's see if it gets there. No ramp, which is brutal, actually, especially since we're going second. But it's just that important to maintain card draw in this deck. Opponent, you got something? Opponent's staying real quick with pushing through, which makes it feel like it's a removal spell, if anything. Let's go ahead and attack. What else do we have going on? Nice. Wicker Wing Effigy. Hopefully they counter this. Notably, Guardian Project, if I cast and then cast Nylea, will not draw me a card, because Nylea doesn't enter as a non-token creature. She enters as an enchantment. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Opponent's done nothing for 3 turns. Are they going to cast Faramir? Maybe. They do. Shields down. We hit our land drop too. I think it's best here to just go ahead and cast the Beast Whisperer. And then next turn we do not... I guess the Guardian Project's probably harder for them to remove. Let's go for that. At the beginning of your end step, choose an opponent. At the beginning of that player's next end step, you draw a card if they didn't attack you that turn. Or else they make a bunch of creatures. I guess they can draw cards. What's the worst that could happen, right? I just don't want to give them a bunch of 3/3s. Next thing we know, this will turn into a big counters type deck. With Nylea down, we'll be able to attack them too. Let's see. Yeah, the Fountain Port kind of clues me in that they might be a tokens deck. But we'll see how opponent reacts now that they have a bunch of mana. They let us get a Guardian Project down, which is pretty nice. Might mean that they hope to counter Nylea, but that'll still draw us. Oh, that's a scary card.
Can no longer stand by and
That's
watch.
also removal for Guardian Project.
That's more like it.
Yay. Control. I love playing against control when I'm playing like an aggressively slanted deck. -3 it to bounce it again. I kind of want to just cast it again. Like, what are they going to do? Oh, you got something, opponent? No, absolutely nothing. Hope of Giriper is a lot stronger here. It's going to be able to stop them from... Ooh, no, that's a good card. Doesn't matter if they're drawing cards, because Hope of Giriper can stop them from being able to cast non-creature spells. Even if their Teferi is plussed, it will stop them from being able to cast it on our turn.
I've got it.
We gotta be careful though, they can cast a board wipe on our turn. You never want to play into that. Okay, Arcane Signet. Still 4 mana. It's a Wrath of God, if they so choose. I don't know how we're gonna get rid of the Teferi though, and that is gonna be really irritating. Restless Anchorage, can they crew it? I'm gonna wait until their next turn so they don't see that I'm thinking about it, in case they want to cast a spell. Just discard. It is 3 mana to turn it on, so they can block with their Restless Anchorage in order to stop me from getting in with Hope of Giriper, which is not a huge deal, because like I said, we can just play the Beast Whisperer afterwards. So I think here it's going to be best to attack with Hope of Giriper first in order to force their hand, use up their mana on their turn, and fall for a second. Use up their mana. That way we then know that we can play our spells a little bit more safely. So let's go ahead, attack Teferi.
Enough.
Never mind, they don't go for it. So now I think they have either a counter spell or some kind of board wipe. God, I want to just cast Aetherflux Reservoir and get it over with. But it's probably best to draw a few cards. Counter Nylea. We still draw a card. Wow. Yeah, move her back to the command zone. In that case, we'll draw one card, hit our land drop. I think we already did, actually. As well as, look at that. Top of our deck's looking pretty saucy. Get a little bit more ramp out in order to make Nylea cheaper. Opponents gaining advantage, though, bit by bit. They are not tapping out, not giving us an inch. We need to find a way to add more pressure.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
I think next step's going to be to just cast Aetherflux Reservoir. Let's see what's on top. Because if we just cast Nylea, that's it. Right? We have a little bit more mana to draw a few more cards. But this is another must-counter threat. Although... Alright, let's do it again. Let's do it again. I'm a sucker. I'm an absolute sucker. Wash away. Brutal. Still have 3 mana in hand. Yeah, move back to the command zone. We'll go ahead and play this. I can actually just cast more ramp. It becomes a bird. Super important, I know. They don't have the mana to stop Hope of Girapur. Do I want to stop them from being able to cast non-creature spells? Kinda, so I can get down Aetherflux Reservoir. But Nylea's not even out at this point. The Fairy Time Raveler is just going to tuck Guardian Project. And that's not a huge deal. We'll be at 6, 7, 8, 9 mana next turn. We'll be able to get down Aetherflux, Beast Whisper, kind of whatever we want. So it might be best here to just straight up attack them. Let's go ahead and sacrifice it. No more non-creature spells. I hope you have another Thalia. Or Sorcery Speed, something or other that you want to do right now. Finale, notably, is on the top. I didn't even see that. That's terrifying. 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll be just a couple of mana away from Crater Hoofing. Unfortunately, Finale's not going to do too much.
Here goes nothing.
Another plus. Okay. They still can't cast non-creature spells. Opponent, do we control? Oh, we do control one more land than them. That's fair. Oh, goodness. This is a tough one. The Finale of Devastation on top. Oh, Lord. What does this do again? They can draw cards. If they've cast... They have 7 or more cards in hand, they can then cast things. Alright. They are tapped out entirely. Which is a shame. But I think that means we're going to Aetherflux. I think then we'll Beast Whisper, draw stuff. Well, if you control power of... Yeah, we're not going to get there, unfortunate. That's okay. Let's draw more cards. Let's see if they have that River's Rebuke that I'm so scared of at all times. Gain a little bit of life. Show them how scary the deck can really get. We've drawn some cards. We're going to gain more life. Yep, that's right, opponent. You know what? We're at 39. What's our storm count? Can I get a storm count, please? Let's see. Damn, we're at 45. Guess what? We're at 45. That's it. Let's gain another few life. We're at 52. Look at this. Good game. And with that, we storm for the win. One time. Like I said, it's just card draw, baby. It's just card draw. Wow. That was exhausting. And unnecessary. We don't even need our commander to win. Case closed. The verdict for this deck is... It is not really worth it. Storm is powerful and interesting and can really pop off when you want it to and when things are set up. But like all combo decks, it is incredibly vulnerable to just one wrench or into the cogs. In a little bit of a higher queue, we faced a few more blue decks today than I normally do when I play Nylea. I might add in a Veil of Summer or some other kind of protection effects in order to make sure I'm able to land my card casting creatures and then protect them afterwards. However, as the issue is with combo decks, you want to make sure that you have enough balance between what you actually need to cast to get there and then your payoff cards. It's a shame we didn't get to see Ave fully go off the way that she might normally, but we did get an Aetherflux Reservoir win, and that's always a lot of fun, especially in mono green. Who knew that it could be built like this? This is a creative build. It's not incredibly powerful, but it sure is a lot of fun to just keep scrying and drawing cards and casting out these little mere Saproling, Scrappling. What a card. What a card. Just some of these ridiculous things. Spectrum Sentinel that you never would get to play otherwise, you get to have here. The final verdict is it's a lot of fun, a lot of frustration, and not particularly good. But hey, that's just one of the many decks that I've played. If you want to see more Brawl content, I highly recommend you check out one of the other videos on my channel. I've got a Koth deck, a Yorion deck, a little bit more of my style of play with a bit more control elements as opposed to just full-in combo. Thanks again very much for watching. I hope you had a good time. Have a great day.